I've been a board certified music therapist for 13 years and have worked primarily with kids with special needs and mental health populations. I've really fallen in love with entrepreneurship and running a business. So in the last year, I decided to shift that a bit. Like, my business was running kind of on autopilot now. I've got a team of incredible therapists. And so I started coaching other therapists to be able to grow their business and set it up the way that they wanted to, and have had a successful run with business coaching that way. But was surprised that the thing that really brought the most fulfillment for my clients and for me as a coach was seeing people start to connect more with other aspects of their life as they were growing with their business. I've got one of my clients has a 7-figure business, and she said that for the first time in years, she started sitting down with her kids at dinner time. And she's sharing that time with them now and is not spending her evenings working all the time. She's been able to develop systems and also an intention to stay present with these other aspects of her life, in addition to a really successful business that she's created, but these other things that really mean a lot to her. This particular program, I don't teach a whole lot about the fundamentals of business itself. Like, I'm not teaching marketing techniques or social media techniques, but I am teaching mindset techniques and actual structured, like ways of structuring your time so that it does have a direct impact on your business. One of the tools that I've created is called the intention setter, and it outlines your entire week, and you first put into the schedule like the things that have to happen, like appointments you've made, stuff like that. But then you schedule in the things that you want to happen, like sitting down to dinner with my family, and you block out that time and you know exactly when you're going to be doing that. Maybe it's meditation in the morning for 30 minutes. Like, so you're putting that down on the schedule. You know exactly what you're expecting of yourself, and leaving space too. And I only have the schedule for 6 days a week because I'm a firm believer that we need, I call it the Sabbath for my religion, but we need a day to do nothing except to glorify God, or whatever that looks like for you. So yeah, tools like that where I help people to be more intentional about how they're using their time. Everybody says it, but we all have the same amount of time. And I think that's for good reason, because none of us have an excuse to say, we should never say we don't have enough time, because I have the exact amount as somebody else. And so it might be a question of how do I use that time. Also looking at, cutting down on screen time significantly. I used to be on my phone for my screen time would show like 3 hours in a day. And it was just like, holy crap, like over a week, that's like 21 hours over a year. I can't even do the math in my head, but it's a lot of time. And so I've tried to cut that down to like 30 minutes a day, maybe 45 minutes or so, because that frees up so much space. And so then as a business owner, that's space that I can really use to grow my business in the right ways. So yeah, it's not techniques directly related to those main fundamentals of business, of like finances, operations, marketing, but it's this other element of how would you want to structure your whole life so that your business plays a key role, but that it doesn't suck everything else away, because that's all that you can think about. So what I've got created here is a 12-week program. And so there's modules online where they can access content, and there's a lot of different exercises. As a music therapist, I incorporate a lot of music and experiential exercises into this process, using music to help you to become more present, or to explore maybe your past, the things that maybe you're running from or running towards as part of the hustling mentality. So I bring a lot of music into that. And so we just have weekly live calls where I coach my clients through these processes. I'm the type that gets so focused in on my work because I love it and I'm so passionate about it that at times I realize I'm like, oh my gosh, I am like neglecting my social life, my family, my spirituality, my personal likes and hobbies for the sake of this business. So that's what I've created, is a program that helps female entrepreneurs to reconnect with those other areas of their life that are just as essential, if not more in some cases, than the work that they do. My kind of mantra is stop hustling and start living.
I've noticed in myself that I will come up with a project or try to push through something to avoid something else in my life that I don't want to deal with. I'm real good at that.
Yep, 100%. I do the exact same thing. I think everybody does. And it's really so much of the battle of that is just awareness. Like, if you're full on aware, I am doing this to avoid that, then you can make the choice. Like, I'm going to actively avoid it and do it anyway. Or, okay, I'm going to deal with it now, It's totally fine, but it's the awareness that has to be there.
So you're teaching people how to step away from the guilty feeling of not being on 100% of the time?
Well, I feel like we have such a hustle culture where it's normal for you to kind of work yourself to death. Like, if I'm not always doing something, then I'm wasting time. That's like my perspective. Like, I've always felt that. There's a lot of people now talking about like, no, that's actually unhealthy. Like, that's contributing to so many problems. Disconnecting from the people in our lives and failed marriages and a lack of spirituality, like in a major way, a lack of connection to God, and everything that means for us as our time on earth. And the more that we hurry and fill up our time and fill up our space, the more we're really lacking in what actually matters to us. We might not even remember what that is. A few years ago, had an experience in my own business where I realized I was trying to find my own value through a successful business, and it reminded me of experiences in my past where I felt undervalued and even rejected. And so I ended up going to therapy for a couple of years to explore that. I'm like, I did not even realize this was happening. I had no idea I was seeking value through this business. And that's why I would get caught into the hustle mentality, because you're never going to be good enough if you're having an external measurement of your value. But that's what I was looking for. So, but yeah, those are the kinds of things we explore, and just look at, like, where is this all coming from? And when you know that and you're aware, like, once I was aware that I was seeking value through my business, my whole mentality of it changed. Like, I didn't feel the same kind of feeling of rejection if someone said no. It was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, that has nothing to do with me. This is about your needs. And if that's not what you need, like, I'm sure you're going to find it with someone else, so it totally changed my perspective. And so that's what I try to help my clients to achieve for themselves, is having an internal sense of value and an awareness of where those kinds of reactions and emotions come from. Have to rest. There has to be time for rest, relaxation, recreation. Like, I don't know. And even in our culture as a parent, I find myself having to check myself. I'm thinking, if this isn't an educational toy or an educational show, or there's not some like end purpose that's going to make them smarter, then it's a waste of time. But it's not true. Like, there's so much value in play for play's sake, not play so that you can become a great reader and get into a good college and then go get a job and then be unhappy with your life like every other adult that doesn't like their job. Like, there's no, there's this whole idea that we have to get there, but we never do. And so when we can pull back a little bit and be like, well, what do I need right now? Like, do I want to just play? Then I'm going to play. Or do I want to just relax without a screen, without a TV, just relax, and without listening to anything, a podcast, like not having input all the time, but just to be and like hear what are the thoughts in my head? Like, what do I have to say without having anybody to need to hear it? You know, like there's so much value in all of that. I can't do it all at once. And so I have to trust whatever I'm doing today is what I need to do today. And anything I don't get to, I will get to it. Like the only thing that matters is this moment right now. And I trust that the other things will come. And I trust in myself that I'll do it. I trust God that the time He has given me is enough, and that He'll help me. He'll give me the capacity to be able to do what I need to do. Like I don't have to make it all happen. I just have to trust that my efforts will be magnified. I've called this program the True Joy Compass, is that we have our own compass. Like really it's within us. We can already sense it. We just have to cut out all the noise, cut out all the hustle. So we get a sense of which direction we really want to go. And when we know that, then productivity is, we're using our time for the right things and our energy for the right things, instead of this misguided idea that we just have to be doing something for the sake of doing. In this like different way of living, we're doing and being for the sake of living in this moment, not to get somewhere else, but to just be in this moment. Be excited about where you are right now. Like it's okay to be excited about the future too, but where you are right now is way more important than what's ever going to happen in the future. And it always, always will be more important. And so the more we're able to celebrate that, like this moment right now, no matter what it is, then that's what enables you to stop hustling and start living, because living only happens right now.